fairy tales from gold lands. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Darko. Fairy Tales from Gold Lands by May Wentworth. Section 3. Gracia and Catarina. Near the mission of San Diego lived a very wealthy Spaniard and his wife, the most beautiful señora in all the country for many miles around. They had everything about them to make life pleasant. A fine orange and lemon grove, a large garden containing olive, almond, peach, and pear trees. Indeed, all kinds of fruit and flowers that the luxurious climate of San Diego produces. Their house was pleasant and furnished with all the comforts and many of the luxuries of life. And when God blessed them with a little daughter, they felt as though there was nothing left to wish for. The child resembled her beautiful mama in features as much as the tiny bud is like the full-blown rose. The Hidalgo had never ceased to regard his wife with that kind of worshipful love so dear to woman's heart, and his great delight was to watch tenderly over mother and child, that even the slightest wish might not pass ungratified. As it grew older, the little one learned to recognize the glance of love, and when at last it would open its large, dark eyes and look eagerly at the dear papa, and holding out its tiny hands, crow with all the innocent delight of infancy, he would take the babe in his arms, and all the harsh lines about his mouth softened into smiles. He was happier than anyone in the whole country except the delighted mother, who was never weary of looking upon the darling of her heart. The señora was a devout Catholic, and though she seldom left the child alone with her nurse, as the feast of Corpus Christi approached, she felt that this year, above all others, so blessed her in the birth of her beloved child, she should assist in the celebration. On the morning of the holy day, she gave her treasure, with many charges, into the care of the old servant, bidding her on no account whatever to leave the child even for a moment. Twice, as she was about leaving, she returned to embrace the little one, with her soft eyes filled with tears. As she covered the face of her babe with kisses, she whispered, "Mama loves thee, mijita mia. Foolish Mama trembles to leave thee, yet the divine eye of the Holy Mother will watch over thee. Mia vida, mia vida." Then came the sound of music, and the voice of the Hidalgo calling her, so that with a last embrace, with mingled smiles and tears, the young mother parted from her little one for the first time since its birth. There was to be a large procession formed upon the plaza, where rustic booths were built, and ornamented according to the taste and wealth of the devout, who often sacrificed the comfort of weeks to be able to give this tribute of honor to the Holy Mother and the Blessed Christ. Pictures of the Madonna were placed upon the root altars, entwined with beautiful wreaths, while rare flowers shed their rich incense from costly vases. The señora had spared neither money nor pains. "It is in honor of the merciful Christ, the Redeemer of the world," she said. "Let everything be as worthy of His greatness as possible. It will fall far short of what my thankful heart would offer." Pictures from the hands of the old masters were brought from the house, with tapestry and fringes, and everything that the luxurious climate produced was added, until nothing seemed wanting to make it the one booth of enchanting beauty. The señora superintended the arrangement of all, while the señor sat a little apart, watching with delight the magic workings of her exquisite taste and refinement. All this time the nurse held the infant in her arms, singing quaint old Indian ballads, rocking her to and fro with a soothing motion, till at last the restless fingers were stilled and the pretty eyes closed. The little one slept and dreamed, no doubt, such dreams as the loving God sends to guileless infancy. Just then the procession started, and the music fell upon the ear of the young Indian girl who was always near to wait upon old Macata, the nurse. "Macata," she said, as she started lightly from the mat on which she was sitting, "it touches my heart I must go. See, the baby sleeps. Nothing can harm it. Come, Mother Macanta, only for a moment. Nothing can harm it, said the old Indian, as she laid the child in its little straw cradle, for she too loved the festive sight and the glad music of the fete. She had wished of all things to join the gossips of the mission on the plaza, but since that could not be, she saw no reason, while the child was sleeping so sweetly, that she should not go to the garden wall and for a few moments catch a passing glimpse of the gay procession. She bent over the child, patting it softly with her great strong hand and singing in a low voice, "Sleep, baby, sleep, while I softly creep to the roadside near. Sleep, baby dear." The little form was so still and peaceful. Surely there could be no danger. So the nurse, who loved her dearly, knelt down and kissed her very lightly, saying in the Indian tongue, "Master of life, preserve the little white rosebud." Again she pressed her dusky lips to the sweet little face, so peaceful in its innocent repose, then ran away through the garden to the roadside with her companion, the bright-eyed Indian girl. It was a rare sight in the eyes of these simple Indians, that long procession, with its swelling music and waving banners.